सीधी तमन्नाए रवे आके मदीने च बावे तैबा दे कुत्तियां दे बावे तैबा दे कुत्तियां दे पैरां च बिठा देना लजपा मेरा लजपाल नबी मेरे दर्दां दी दवा देना.
It's your breakfast rush. It's 90.4 FM in Devon, 105.6 FM in Pietermaritzburg. Now, looking into news that's been making headlines, been keeping people talking, water cooler conversations, and what have you. Some of those headlines, very interesting. The KwaZulu-Natal Department of Agriculture and Rural Development has allocated 134.3 million rand to support livestock improvement, particularly mitigating foot and mouth disease. The MEC made the announcement during her 25-26 budget vote in the KZN legislature yesterday, stating that mandatory veterinary services for clients will be enhanced in the current financial year to ensure healthy animals, sustainable and profitable animal production enterprises, safe trade in animals and products of animal origin, and the well-being of animals and the public. 134.3. I thought it would have cost more. But that's just me. Anyway, outside of South Africa, Myanmar's military government has imposed harsh new penalties for protesting its planned election, with critics potentially facing years in prison for dissent. The state-run news agency reported that the new law took effect on Tuesday, months before elections expected at the end of this year. The legislation bans any speech, organizing, inciting, protesting, or distributing leaflets in order to destroy a part of the electoral process, which opposition groups and international monitors have slammed as a policy to shore up military rule. Now, in other news, a long-awaited forensic investigation into the 800 million rand pressure swing absorption oxygen plant tender has uncovered shocking levels of fraud and governance failures within the Independent Development Trust, threatening one of South Africa's most critical public health infrastructure projects. Now, with the cloud of corruption beginning to lift, Health Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi says the path is finally clear to deliver life-saving oxygen infrastructure to 55 hospitals across the country. The forensic report, commissioned by Public Works and Infrastructure Minister Dean McPherson, comes after months of public scrutiny over potential corruption linked to the project's original procurement process through the Independent Development Trust. Here we are at 6:47 on this Thursday morning. Those of you that are looking at screens now, just watching videos and what have you, you're looking at the screen thinking, hey, what's that story there? What is it? There's something on the screen. And what is it? Well, if you want to comment, then you can comment on the video. It's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's on Instagram, and of course on TikTok as well. So if you want to know, depending on where you're looking, right? So here on this side is where you'll see the one on TikTok, and then on that side there for everybody else. But the pictures on the screen, it's got something to say. If you have a comment on what you think it may be, because I did at the beginning of this week say change is imminent. Something's happening. Something's in the pipeline. There are plans afoot, so to speak. If you think you know what might be, then pop a message in the comment section. Go for it. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what it could quite possibly be. I do see your WhatsApp messages coming in as well, so we'll bounce in there in a little bit and just have a look-see at what you're thinking WhatsApp-wise. But whilst we go through the next ad and track break, you know those old school sayings our elders always swear by? The ones we pretend not to believe, but deep down, we kind of do. Like when your hand starts itching, they say money's coming your way. Or that random eye twitch. You're going to bump into somebody you haven't seen in ages, apparently, when your eyes just going, yeah. Be honest. What's one of those superstitions or beliefs from our elders that we low-key sort of still believe in? What is it? I know the palm itchy bit, the palm itchy bit. A lot of people still mention that one these days. What is it for you? Razia Ismail, assalamu alaikum to you. Good to have you watching in on the videos. Send your answers through. Send it through. So if your palm's itchy, does it matter which one the money's coming in, or does the other one like money goes away? I don't know. How does it work? Be honest. What's one of those beliefs, those old school sayings from our elders that we kind of low key still listen to, still believe in, still maybe repeating in conversations ourselves?
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willowton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
There's nothing quite like the taste of a traditional family meal, and at the heart of every great dish is a key ingredient that brings it all together. That ingredient is Sunfoil pure sunflower cooking oil, made from only the finest sunflower seeds. It's a perfect way to enhance the taste of your family's favorite foods. Sunfoil cooking oil is more than just oil. It's the key to bring your family together over a delicious meal and making every bite taste better. Remember, the key ingredient to a great family meal is Sunfoil. Tradition just tastes better.
Straight to the pleasure zones of your brain. TBR.
I used to keep it in a box, in a mall, with pretend security and humans watching my every move. Then I found Capital Vaults. Now it's stored in a real vault with discreet access. No human contact, no risk. I trust it more than my bank. If what you own matters, protect it like it does. Capital Vaults. Safer, smarter, uncompromising.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willowton Group, at the forefront of innovation and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
जलवाए जाना जलवाए जाना जलवाए जाना जलवाए जाना बेखुद किए देते हैं अंदाज़े की जमाना दिल में तुझे रख लूं है जलवाए जाना बेखुद किए देते हैं इतना तो करम करना है चश्मे करीमाना इतना तो करम करना है चश्मे करीमाना जब जान लबों पर हो जब जान लबों पर हो तुम सामने आ जाना जाना जलवाए जाना बेखुद किए देते हैं दुनिया में मुझे तुमने जब अपना बनाया है दुनिया में मुझे तुमने जब अपना बनाया है महशर में भी कह देना महशर में भी कह देना ये है मेरा दीवाना बेवकूफ़ दीवाना
CBR, it says, quick question that was put on the air. Just wondering what is going on. Do we think about it? Should we think about it? Are those just old sayings from the older folks that kind of don't make any sense and we're like, we'll forget about it? I think one that a lot of people have sort of held on to is the whole palm itchy story. So those old school sayings by our elders, things that they swear by. Like, the ones we pretend to believe or not believe, but deep down inside, we kind of do. I know one that a lot of people talk about and have mentioned on video and on WhatsApp as well is one about the palms. The palms being itchy. So we just pop in a TikTok really quickly and have a look-see. Glamorous Queen says, right hand, money comes. If your left hand's itchy, then the money is going. Where's it going? Ruwaida, assalamu alaikum to you as well. Good to have you on video watching as well. Let's go to this and say Feroza. Feroza is a little bit, she's like, hey, come on now. Don't put this picture on the TV and tell me something big is coming. Just let the cat out the bag. Not yet. Feroza's watching on YouTube at the moment. Good to have you there. WhatsApp's been a little bit busy, so let's just bump in there. Really quickly. Always give a pregnant woman whatever she asks for. Apparently the baby wants it. Like really? Seriously? Seriously? The baby wants it? The baby wants money. Yeah. Zamir, I don't know, man, but it sounds like you got caught with that one there once or twice. I don't know. Thank you for your WhatsApp message. Shanaz, if a mirror breaks, then there's 7 years of bad luck coming your way. Did anybody test the theory and get an answer? So Razia Ismail says those things that the old folks used to say, must not take chilies from hand to hand. Then how are you going to take it? Much like the person giving you must put it on a table and then you must pick it up. Like that. Like here's a chili. No, put it down. And then it's like a cut in Tani. Table cut. I don't know. Interesting. MH Osman, assalamu alaikum. MH says, yes, missing Naz. Yes, we are. Assalamu alaikum. Nishal, they say when a spoon falls, you're getting visitors. Now, I've heard various different takes on this one here. So if you're at home and somebody's in the kitchen or whatever, and they drop a whole lot of dishes, then they say, oh, you're getting visitors, you're getting visitors. But apparently at Rashida's place, if a spoon falls, then she's getting visitors. Assalamu alaikum. If my mother-in-law was telling a story and we weren't sure of the legitimacy of the story and one of us sneezed, she would say we sneezed on the truth of the story. It's true because you sneezed. Got nothing to do with the dust in the air. Nothing. Nothing to do with the dust in the air, I'm sure. Let's see. When your right hand itches, then money is coming. And this is Sarah Bibi now saying left hand going. I've heard that as well. I've also heard that. What have you heard that you think, might be true? I don't know. Anissa says, a colleague told me just yesterday not to pass a knife in the hand. You'll fight with that person. Huh? That would explain why certain Waitrons and I just never got on. Because they're like, give me that. I'm eating my bunny. I want my fork and I want my knife. I'm trying my bunny. No, I'm kidding. Assalamu alaikum. The saying is, when your left eye beats, it's bad luck. And if your right eye is beating, then it's good luck. What if I don't know my left and right? Like, what if I'm confused? Salams, if your right eye has a twitch. Here's a variation on this one here now. When your right eye has a twitch, then it's good news. And if it's twitching on the left-hand side of life, your eye, then it's bad news. Husna. Imagine all the people going to work today and they're sitting down and they're about to go into a meeting with their manager, and then one of their eyes start twitching, and then they're going to be sitting there like, wait. What did Husna say on the radio in the morning? Left eye or right eye? Good news or bad news? Imagine. What are those things that the old folks used to say that we may not necessarily want to admit we believe in? Text it to me. Put it on the videos, on WhatsApp, whatever the case may be. Put it there. Let's have a look-see as we get closer to 7 this morning. You're sitting in the car. We've got your news coming up in a little bit. You're sitting in the car. Yeah, we've got your traffic coming up in a little bit as well. If you are newly married or just about to get married or even just interested in getting married, the Institute for Learning and Motivation South Africa, also better known, lovingly known as ILM SA, will be hosting a marriage readiness workshop on Saturday, 16-17 August in Musgrave. And we'll be chatting with the founding director of ILM SA, Sister Fatima Asmal. She'll be joining us in the program a little bit later on. Assalamu alaikum. I don't believe in any of that reason. I'm too emotional. Kill me before my time. Hajra, seriously. That's on let's see, she's on Facebook right now. Let's go pop in there and check out TikTok really quickly. If you have a hiccup, someone's thinking of you. Does that mean all of you thinking about it? Anyway. So Fatima says we are all slaves to tradition. Absolutely. First, Assalamu alaikum. My in-law always said, if you see a rat, never swear it. What? I don't know if you guys on TikTok reading this message right now, but it's not making any sense to me, because she says, Assalamu alaikum. My mother-in-law always said, if you see a rat, never swear it. Say, get married to my daughter. Why would I want to say that? Why? Oh my word. If you have a hiccup, someone's thinking of it. What if your ear's itchy? Does that mean somebody's talking about you? Or does it mean you didn't wash your ear properly? Which one would it be? It's coming up at 7 a.m. We've got your main news bulletin. Shanaz, here's my favorite one. And look, I'm emceeing weddings and nikah ceremonies with walimas and receptions and all the time, right? So I hear this one very often. When it rains on your wedding day, that means you ate from the pot. How does the rain know that?
The Breakfast Rush Main News Bulletin.
Making news at 7, the Health Professions Council of South Africa has revealed that it's investigating a Westville doctor following complaints from patients. Good morning, I'm Tabila Duma. The Health Professions Council of South Africa has revealed that it's investigating a Westville doctor following complaints from patients. The council stated that it's looking into claims of unprofessional conduct against a Westville cardiologist, Dr. Ntando Duze. It added that it was not aware of complaints of an alleged smear campaign. Duze recently spoke to a news agency where he said that he had been a victim of a smear campaign, whereby some of his colleagues were calling his patients to solicit complaints to file with the council in order to have him suspended or stripped of his medical license. One of Dr. Duze's patients confirmed that he had been approached by one of Dr. Duze's colleagues to file a complaint. The patient viewed the conduct by this doctor as unprofessional and laid a complaint with the hospital forcing this doctor to write an apology to him. The patient also submitted an affidavit to the police detailing the conduct of this doctor, said to be leading the smear campaign against Duze. KwaZulu-Natal's Umzumbe municipality has been functioning without a municipal manager and chief financial officer for some time. This was one of the Auditor General of South Africa's findings in the audit outcomes for the 2023 and 2024 financial year that ended on the 30th of June last year. The AGSA stated in its report that vacancies in key positions disrupted appropriate segregation of duties and hindered adequate review by various levels of staff, which contributed to the submission of financial statements that were not credible or reliable. The AGSA also found that weak internal controls during the year resulted in numerous errors and insufficient supporting evidence across transactions and balances in the financial statements. The AGSA recommended that the municipality investigate all instances of unauthorized and irregular expenditure and take appropriate disciplinary or legal action based on the outcomes. In more local news, the South African Communist Party and ANC in KwaZulu-Natal have made peace following the formation of the latter's interim structures. The truce, which was announced at the SACP's media briefing in Durban yesterday, came after the ANC appointed some of the SACP leaders to its interim structures. The SACP Provincial Executive Committee had last year expressed a dissatisfaction with its ANC provincial counterpart, which was led by its now demoted chairperson Siboniso Duma, for allegedly sidelining tripartite alliance partners in making key decisions. The sour relationship between the two alliance members at the national level caused the SACP to announce that it would contest future elections, including next year's local government elections, on its own. SACP Provincial Secretary Thembam Mthembu told the reporters after the media briefing that the relationships had improved. In national news, the Constitutional Court has reserved a judgment in the case brought by the MK party against President Cyril Ramaphosa following his decision to place Minister Senzo Mchunu on special leave and the controversial appointment of Professor Feroza Khashaliya as the acting police minister. The case, heard in Johannesburg yesterday, centers on the legality and constitutionality of Ramaphosa's move to temporarily remove Mchunu after explosive allegations of political interference and unlawful conduct were made by KZN Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. The matter further challenges the president's subsequent decision to appoint Khashaliya as acting Minister of Police, despite Khashaliya not being a cabinet member. Arguing on behalf of the MK party, Advocate Dali Mpofu described Ramaphosa's actions as unconstitutional. He told the court that Ramaphosa overstepped his constitutional powers by placing Mchunu on leave of absence and then delegating his ministerial duties to someone outside of the cabinet. Workers at the National Student Financial Aid Scheme began a 3-day picket outside the agency's foreshore offices in Cape Town yesterday, demanding action against alleged corruption, mismanagement, and poor working conditions. Leading the demonstration was the National Education, Health and Allied Workers Union, which was also locked in a wage dispute with the organization. The wage negotiations have reached a deadlock and have been escalated to the Commission for Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration. Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Higher Education recently warned that delays in NSFAS payments could leave students, particularly young women, vulnerable to sexual exploitation. Neha NSFAS branch chairperson Linda Mnenjwa said that staff were not to blame for NSFAS operating well below its performance targets and instead pointed fingers at incompetent executives. And finally, Russia lifted a tsunami alert yesterday after a massive quake and tsunami largely spared the country's sparsely populated Far East from casualties and major damage. An 8.8 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Russia's far eastern Kamchatka Peninsula earlier, prompting evacuations and tsunami alerts across parts of the Pacific coast. Taking a look at the news in Pietermaritzburg on 105.6 FM, the political killings tasker team yesterday arrested 2 people for the murder of Umgeni Municipality's DA Councillor Alliance and Ndlovu, according to a police statement. The two, a 56-year-old Nkosi and a 26-year-old suspect, coordinated Ndlovu's murder while in the Pietermaritzburg prison. They are expected to appear at the Harwich Magistrates Court today, joining Tobani Masopo Hlongwa, aged 31, Kailihle Shabalala, aged 31, and Induna under the Nxamalala Tribal Authority, Zwelithini Buthelezi, aged 43, who have been appearing in court already for Ndlovu's murder. They all face charges of conspiracy to commit murder, and possession of unlicensed firearms and ammunition. And finally, the Msunduzi Municipality Council meeting descended into chaos yesterday after an exchange involving ACDP Councillor Rinus Niemand, later to his ejection from the chamber, sparking tensions and prompting the DA to stage a walkout to caucus. The disruption erupted during a heated debate over the extension of municipal security service contracts. While addressing the issue, Niemand voiced a skepticism about the process, stating that while insourcing security services could work, the municipality should not appoint bodies, a comment that drew immediate backlash from councillors across the political spectrum. That's it for news in Pietermaritzburg on 105.6 FM. Now taking a look at our financial indicators. The rand to the US dollar is trading at 17 rands and 99 cents, to the euro at 20 rands and 51 cents, to the pound at 23 rands and 82 cents. The Saudi riyal is at 4 rands and 80 cents. Gold is trading at $3,275.26 an ounce, while Brent crude oil is trading at $72.63 a barrel. That's it for now. I will be back with your headlines at 7:30. For Redal Sign News, I'm Tabila Duma.
This traffic update is brought to you by Newcastle Volkswagen, a member of the Dockrad Group. Get ready to experience true adventure and adrenaline with Newcastle Volkswagen. With sleek design vehicles that are sure to grant you luxury without compromising comfort. Contact us today on 034 328 3601 to get a quote for your brand new Volkswagen. We don't only deliver nationwide, but right to your door. Volkswagen Newcastle, a member of the Dockrad Group.
Superintendent Rauf, Assalamu alaikum, welcome.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much. We've got an accident on the N2, which just passed Cotsborough Ram bound. Apparently, there seems to be trucks involved in this one. So the entire freeway is closed. So there's going to be major delays in the vicinity. Just allow for extra traveling time, please. Or take the ramp before Cotsborough, use the R102. And then once you pass Cotsborough, you can jump back onto the freeway again. Accident we spoke about earlier on the M4 by Himalayas Road, where the N2 M4 split. Just past that in the vicinity of Himalaya. Still there, so it shouldn't be long before that one's gone. They're busy dealing with it. And there's an incident taking place on the N3 coming towards Durban, it's after Hilton Avenue ramp. Now, we're not sure what it is, but the left-hand lane and the shoulder lane is obstructed. There's some police activity taking place in that vicinity. So we don't know what it is at this point, but there is delays there. Allow for just having that. If you're on the N3 going westbound, Beria off-ramp, you got a fatal accident, pedestrian involved in this one. But there's going to be delays in that vicinity. 1 or 2 lanes have been obstructed. That's been closed off. Just be aware of that, please. Accident corner of Ripon Road and Matlock Road in Sydenham. So there's going to be delays in that vicinity. Let's allow for extra traveling time there, please, as well. You got the accident. Okay, that's the same one. Matlock Road and Ripon Road. So quite a few things happening this morning on the road. Just be safe while you're driving out there, please. N2 northbound, very congested conditions between the M7 and Spaghetti. The N2 southbound between Inanda Road and Spaghetti, also congested. The N3 between the M13, Paradise Valley, and coming towards the Spaghetti Junction, also congested. Now, remember we spoke about a truck broken down on the N2 northbound at Tonga Toll Plaza. That's causing a problem with traffic going towards the Toll Plaza. The fast lane is obstructed. But just allow for some extra traveling time there, please. The N2 southbound between Amstoti and Amstanga as well. Very slow-moving traffic due to the roadworks taking place. That's your second update.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Rauf. I know you want to do the anagram, so let's get some letters for this morning's anagram. But before that, what language is the word in today?
If you listen to me yesterday, this is your clue.
Mm-hmm.
If you listened to me yesterday, I told you what we're going to talk about today.
You know I don't pay attention, right?
Other people do.
Hopefully. Okay, what we're doing?
Okay, I'm going to give you the word. I'll give you the letters. Are you ready?
Yes, please.
Okay, the first letter is T.
T for Tommy.
A.
A for Anthony.
I.
I for Ismail.
A,
A for Anthony.
N,
N for Nishal.
K,
K for Kebab.
H,
H for Ho.
A,
Another A for Anthony. This word's got a lot of A's in it.
and N.
And another N. Let's recap. TAIANKHAN.
Correct. 9 letters?
3 of those 9 are A's. And what language is it in?
It's in English,
An English
but
word.
it's an English word, but it's a. I'll give it away if I say what it is.
Then why you started talking?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
You know, Soup, you still there?
I'm here.
There's a listener wants to know if you're hungry.
Oh my goodness.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
There you go. That's another clue for you. It's the last day of July 2025. And I like the way this introduction sort of sets the tone for the discussion that we're going to have next. Because it says, if you are newly married. Then it says, if you're about to get married. And then it says, even if you're interested in getting married. The next discussion on air is just for you.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willow Tin Group, at the forefront of innovation, and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
There's nothing quite like the taste of a traditional family meal, and at the heart of every great dish is a key ingredient that brings it all together. That ingredient is Sunfoil pure sunflower cooking oil, made from only the finest sunflower seeds. It's a perfect way to enhance the taste of your family's favorite foods. Sunfoil cooking oil is more than just oil. It's the key to bring your family together over a delicious meal and making every bite taste better. Remember, the key ingredient to a great family meal is Sunfoil. Tradition just tastes better.
Welcome to Simplex Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickville Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
The views and opinions expressed by the guest and presenters of Radio Al Ansar are not necessarily the views and opinions of Radio Al Ansar and the Al Ansar Foundation.
Waking you up every weekday morning.
Nishal Sarwar, all over your radio.
Every day's a good day. Did you hear? Your favorite 24-hour dentist has moved? Crown Dental Studio, offering everything your smile needs, from general to cosmetic dentistry. Female practitioner now available upon request. Call us on 081 207 8621 to schedule your next appointment. Or visit our new studio at 26 McCuton Avenue, Durban North. Crown Dental Studio, your 24-hour dentist.
CBR, it says 90.4 FM in Durban, 105.6 FM in Peter Maritzburg. Now, fair amount of interest in the topic next, because as I've mentioned earlier, if you're newly married, if you're about to get married, if you're just interested in getting married, the Institute for Learning and Motivation South Africa, lovingly known as ILM-SA, will be hosting a marriage readiness workshop on Saturday and Sunday, the 16th and 17th of August in Musgrave. And here to tell us more about it is the founding director of ILM-SA, or ILM-SA, Fatima Asmal. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Breakfast Rush.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sister Fatima, tell us, why did ILM-SA decide to organize a marriage readiness workshop?
Well, I think that marriage is a sacred union. It's a sanctimonious union. Allah has told us that He created the concept of marriage, and there should be tranquility between man and wife. There should be love and mercy between them. And He has also told us that we should be garments for one another. And I think this sort of understanding of marriage has been lost in us. We have a very romanticized notion of the concept. For many years now, we observed that the Cape Town community has a Muslim marriage readiness workshop. There are other communities around the world that have it too. In Malaysia, in fact, it's compulsory to attend something of the sort, and then you are licensed to be able to get married. So we thought that this is something which Durban really, really needs. And for me, on a personal level, as the director of the organization, what alarmed me was the misconceptions that are prevalent in our community about the concept of divorce. Firstly, people are really, really quick to get divorced. And secondly, when they do it in a way which goes completely against the Sunnah. And I don't think that's necessarily ill-intentioned. I think it's due to a lack of knowledge. So we felt that we needed to equip people with the tools and the knowledge to, inshallah, enjoy successfully married lives.
Indeed. I mean, what is the workshop all about? Tell us about the speakers, some of the topics that will be covered.
Okay, so basically it's called Like a Garment. This is based on a verse from the Quran wherein Allah says, your spouses are a garment for you as you are for them. In terms of the speakers, the main presenter is Idris Kamisa. This is his forte. He's gone around the world training marriage counselors. He's counseled dozens of married couples. When I was married, I actually sought counseling from him, and he was brilliant. So he's one of the main presenters. And then from the Islamic angle, we have Maulana Zakaria Hanaka coming down from Cape Town. We chose him because he's young, he's relatable, he's humorous, and he's an encyclopedia of knowledge. He's actually a student of the late Sheikh Taha Quran, who was a formidable scholar who passed away during COVID in South Africa. In terms of the topics, there's so many, subhanAllah. I'll just mention some of them. So we're going to look at conflict resolution. We're going to look at nurturing relationships with in-laws, emotional intelligence and empathy, the Islamic marriage contract, roles and responsibilities, and much more.
It sounds amazing, sounds interesting. Tell us who can attend this workshop.
Okay, I don't believe in deceiving people, so I'm going to be very honest. This workshop was intended for people intending to get married or people who are newly married. I'm not sure what the issue is, what's holding people back, but there has actually been a very poor response from people within those categories. So obviously, ideally, this workshop is meant to assist men and women, irrespective of the age groups, who intend getting married, are interested in getting married, or who have been married like for 4 years or less. But because of the response, which hasn't been great, we're saying, even if you married for a long period of time and you want to learn how to better your marital relationship, you are welcome to attend, inshallah.
I mean, so if someone is interested in attending, what do they need to do? Can they just pitch up on the day? How does it work?
No, they can't pitch up on the day because this is a full day workshop that runs over 2 days. So it's Saturday and Sunday, the 16th and 17th of August, and we're catering for lunch and refreshments and stationery for all attendees. They also get this really, really phenomenal workbook that's over 200 pages long that has to be printed according to the number of people who register, and everybody gets a free copy of a book called Premarital Conversations and Beyond, written by Mr. Idris Kamisa. It's 450 rands, and you basically have to register, and you have to register by next week Friday, the 8th of August. There's a registration link and there's a flyer that I can send to anybody who's interested in registering. I'm going to repeat my phone number twice, and they can WhatsApp me, and I will respond during the course of the day.
Absolutely. What's the number?
Okay, so 083 271 4500. That's 083 271 4500. And if they can remember and they don't want to WhatsApp me and they're convinced that they should attend, they can simply go to www.ilmsa.co.za/marriage and they'll find the registration form there.
Well, there you go. Go to the website, MSA, and you could find the registration form under the marriage tab. Any closing words that you'd like to share, an encouragement of those people that should be attending the event?
I think that we might feel embarrassed to attend a workshop of this nature. We think that it might convey an impression that we're not good at being married, but marriage takes hard. It's not a bed of roses. Every day is not the same. And I think that we actually reflecting strength on our behalf and a willingness to learn how to better this beautiful institution. And I think Mr. Kamisa and Malana Zakaria, like I said, they're very engaging. They have fantastic sense of humor. So the hours might seem long, but I think you'd be very, very entertained and educated.
Absolutely. Looking forward to getting good feedback from this one here. Founding Director of ILMSA, Sister Fatima Asmal, thank you very much for coming through and bringing this info to our listeners.
Thank you so much for having me.
Always a pleasure speaking with you. Now, folks, remember this is taking place on the 16th and 17th of August. It's taking place in Musgrave. You've gotten the details for where you can get more information with regard to this. Jump onto their website, ILMSA's website, and you'll find info on there as well. She's quite right. These sorts of things take place in various different parts of the world. For some reason, us here in Durban, we're always playing catch-up.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willow Tin Group, at the forefront of innovation, and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
There's nothing quite like the taste of a traditional family meal, and at the heart of every great dish is a key ingredient that brings it all together. That ingredient is Sunfoil pure sunflower cooking oil, made from only the finest sunflower seeds. It's a perfect way to enhance the taste of your family's favorite foods. Sunfoil cooking oil is more than just oil. It's the key to bring your family together over a delicious meal and making every bite taste better. Remember, the key ingredient to a great family meal is Sunfoil. Tradition just tastes better.
Sponsor an orphan, and you'll help support a vulnerable child to have the education they've always dreamed of, so they can build a brighter future. You'll be feeding a hungry stomach and a hungry mind with knowledge that will last them a lifetime. That's the power of an education. Sponsor an orphan now with Islamic Relief.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willow Tin Group, at the forefront of innovation, and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
This feature on The Breakfast Rush is powered by the Cellular City Group of Vodacom shops at the Pavilion Superstore 2.0, Entrance 6, Westwood Mall, Bluff Towers, The Workshop Durban, Megacity, Bridge City, Brookside Mall PMB, and the Nelson Mandela Square Stanton 2.0.
So over the last couple of months, we've been giving away tons of prizes from our set of Vodacom stores. So you had June, where it was just education. So we did tablets and a laptop, 4 tablets and a laptop. And then came July, where we said winter warmers. So we gave away smart appliances to you, the wonderful listener of The Breakfast Rush. So we done 4 smart pieces of equipment under the Xiaomi brand. Now, let me tell you about one more that you can pop into our set of Vodacom stores and purchase for 2,009 Rand. It's the Xiaomi Smart Blender. It's got a high power motor, 8 stainless steel blades, OLED control knob, makes hot or cold drinks, easily whip up delicious treats like refreshing smoothies, fresh juices, tasty soups, 800 to 950 watt heating power for hot drinks, 9 variable speed settings, 8 modes to choose from. It's linked or can be linked to the Xiaomi Home app support, operate under pressing and rotating the OLED knob with 2 touch buttons for ease of use, and more and more and more and more and more. The Xiaomi Smart Blender. App Smart Voice Control, 2009 Rand at our set of Vodacom stores. People didn't believe me when I said they have a light bulb that you can speak to, like from your phone. Like, put the lights on. Do you know that kind of thing? It's true. Go check it out. It's on their Insta. The Xiaomi Smart LED bulb, cash price on this one here, 269 rands. The built-in Wi-Fi mode supports smart connections with the Xiaomi Home app. The device is obtained Matter certification and can achieve interoperability. I never knew that was a word. But anyway, between devices of different brands and platforms for smart light control at your command. So the smart LED bulb, 269 Rand at our set of Vodacom stores.
Vodacom Shop. For smartphones, laptops, routers, asset insurance, gaming, IoT, payment platforms, and the latest gadgets to always keeping you in the forefront of innovation and technology. Home and business internet to ensure that you have the best connection. Plug and play home internet to fully installed fiber. Our infrastructure provides a resilient platform for your critical business applications, which will help your business perform best. Vodacom Shop at the Pavilion Superstore 2.0, Westwood Mall, The Bluff, The Workshop Durban, Umlazi Mega City, Bridge City Kwamashu, Brookside Mall PMB, and the Nelson Mandela Square Sandton 2.0. This feature on the Breakfast Rush is powered by the Cellular City Group of Vodacom Shops at the Pavilion Superstore 2.0, Entrance 6, Westwood Mall, Bluff Towers, The Workshop Durban, Mega City, Bridge City, Brookside Mall PMB, and the Nelson Mandela Square Sandton 2.0.
The Breakfast Rush News Headlines.
Making news at the bottom of the hour, the Umkhonto weSizwe Party is optimistic that the Constitutional Court will favor it when it hands down judgment in the party's attempt to have President Cyril Ramaphosa's decisions on Police Minister Senzo Mchunu declared unconstitutional. Revelations about the murders of several South African artists have exposed a chilling web of connections involving organized crime cartels, corrupt law enforcers, and high-powered firearms. And finally, the co-founder of Palestine Action, a pro-Palestinian activist group, has won the right to challenge the British government's decision to ban the group under anti-militancy laws. That's it for now. For Red Island Sign News, I'm Tabila Duma.
Breakfast Rush Traffic.
This traffic update is brought to you by Suzuki Newcastle, a member of the Dockrad Group.
Superintendent Raouf and his Nankatai are so famous that our listeners looked at the letters provided for the anagram and were like, he should have said condensed milk. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back.
All right. Two things happening as you need to know now. The accident at Ripon Road and Matlock Drive is still there. So there's going to be some delays. The N3 going out of Durban towards Beria, that ramp, that accident is still there as well. A new accident on the N2 southbound coming towards Durban, just before Stalltrock. Right-hand lanes obstructed, so there will be delays on the N2. I'm looking at pictures coming through. Traffic's already building up in that vicinity. Just please allow for extra traveling time. That's your final update.
So Nankatai is the answer, right?
Absolutely. With a nice hot cup of condensed milk tea.
Yeah, Idris came through and said he should have just said condensed milk. Thank you very much, Sub. You take it easy. We'll catch up.
So you see, the family thinks in the same line.
Absolutely. Assalamu alaikum. There you go. It's your breakfast rush. Abdullah says, hey, Nishal, Xiaomi is a lifestyle. That's exactly what it's sounding like. If you go to our set of Vodacom stores and have a look at their Insta, Xiaomi definitely a lifestyle. Definitely a lifestyle. There's so many of you that said the word is Nankatai. You were correct. Today's anagram. That was the answer. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're talking business claims with Karwa Financial Accounting Services.
This traffic update is brought to you by Suzuki Newcastle, a member of the Dockrad Group. For the Suzuki that enables you to live, dream, and think big, your limitless potential begins at Suzuki Newcastle. Make every journey possible. Contact us today on 034 312 7805 for a quote. Our customer service driven sales team is ready to assist you. We don't only deliver nationwide, but right to your door. Suzuki Newcastle, a member of the Docrat Group.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willowton Group, at the forefront of innovation, and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
There's nothing quite like the taste of a traditional family meal, and at the heart of every great dish is a key ingredient that brings it all together. That ingredient is Sunfoil pure sunflower cooking oil, made from only the finest sunflower seeds. It's a perfect way to enhance the taste of your family's favorite foods. Sunfoil cooking oil is more than just oil. It's the key to bring your family together over a delicious meal and making every bite taste better. Remember, the key ingredient to a great family meal is sunfoil. Tradition just tastes better.
The Breakfast Rush. It's the only way to start your day.
Almost 1 in 5 South African children attend school each day without having eaten breakfast. This seriously affects their ability to concentrate and understand lessons. The Al Imdad Foundation's Make Breakfast Possible campaign allows learners to enjoy a high-energy cereal at the start of the school day. Help children to focus on learning and not hunger. Let's make breakfast possible today. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
The Breakfast Rush, brought to you courtesy of the Willowton Group, at the forefront of innovation, and one of the leading competitors in the South African FMCG market.
The Breakfast Rush. It's the people's choice.
غم سبھی راحتوں تسکین میں ڈھل جاتے ہیں غم سبھی راحتوں تسکین میں ڈھل جاتے ہیں جب کرم ہوتا ہے حالات بدل جاتے ہیں آقا اس میں احمد کا وظیفہ ہے ہر ایک غم کا علاج اس میں احمد کا وظیفہ ہے ہر ایک غم کا علاج لاکھ خطرے ہوں اسی نام سے ٹل جاتے ہیں جب لیا نام نبی میں نے دعا سے پہلے ہو گئی مجھ پہ عطا میری خطا سے پہلے لاکھ خطرے ہوں اسی نام سے ٹل جاتے ہیں یہ نام کوئی کام بگڑنے نہیں دیتا یہ نام کوئی کام بگڑنے نہیں دیتا یہ نام کوئی کام بگڑنے نہیں دیتا بگڑے بھی بنا دیتا ہے بس نام محمد لاکھ خطرے ہوں اسی نام سے ٹل جاتے ہیں آقا کوئی دیکھے تو صحیح ان کی دہائی دیکھ کر کوئی دیکھے تو صحیح ان کی دہائی دیکھ کر عشق صادق ہو تو عشق صادق ہو تو پتھر بھی پگھل جاتے ہیں خدایا عشق محمد میں وہ مقام آئے کہ सास बाद में पहले नबी का नाम आए.
Soft, soothing, relaxing. Believe it or not, it actually is the Rao brothers doing this track. Jab Karam Hota Hai is the title of it. As we get closer to 7:40 this morning, promised you a discussion with Karwa Financial Accounting Services. Over the last few weeks, we've been getting you ready for taxes. And it's that time now, that's the time. This is the time for those money matters, the tax matters. Uncle SARS, just like sort of, hello, how you doing? Come over, come pay me. That's the story at the moment. Now, if you're a business person, here is today's topic, business claims. We have in studio with us brother Zubair Karwa and sister Nabila Latif. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the both.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Jazakallah for having us again.
Always a pleasure, always enlightening speaking with you. So tell us, what should I tell my accountant and what can businesses claim?
Okay, inshallah, this is a very broad topic. We'll try to cover it as best as we can. The flow of information between the client and the accountant is vital. For the accountant, not knowing crucial information could result in a taxpayer being penalized. So let Nabila give you an example of how this thing unfolds.
So let's say a person sold their property and there is capital gains tax on the sale. At the time of calculating and submitting their second provisional tax return in February of each year, this capital gain should be factored into the calculation. Unfortunately, leaving this out could result in the taxpayer being penalized by 20% of the tax due. So let's say the tax should have been 200,000, but the taxpayer only paid 100,000 due to non-disclosure. They would then have to pay up to 20,000 rand extra in some cases.
That's not a small amount at all.
Not at all. That's just one example. Like I said, non-disclosure will cost either in penalties or in paying taxes unnecessarily. I think that's something we're going to cover as well today. Which items are tax deductible and stuff like that. So I'm sure nobody out there wants to pay tax unnecessarily.
Absolutely.
Meaning if the expense is not captured correctly, then the taxpayer could end up paying taxes where they could have reduced their tax liability. They've actually paid tax. Again, I'm saying unnecessary, and I'm repeating myself, but that's the reality of it.
So how does a person know what to tell his accountant? I'm sure accountants don't want to be overloaded with unnecessary information, Nabila.
No. See, the measure of what is important varies from taxpayer to taxpayer. For example, a taxpayer who earns a salary and now suddenly lets out a part of his house and collects rent. This is important. Or the same taxpayer now starts a small side hustle and earns income. This is also vitally important. But now let's look at what might not need to be communicated. Let's say a business that's already trading and now their sales have shot up. There's no need to tell your accountant this because your sales report and your bank statements will both show this. So we'll pick this up from there.
Nishal, the circumstances are so varied that we probably can discuss this for the entire day. My suggestion is that have a chat with your accountant and let them guide you. We had a SARS audit where SARS wanted to raise tax, where taxpayers sold his pet goat and some second-hand artwork. Now, just to put some perspective, this tax audit happened maybe last year or year before last, and the tax period related to 2001.
Right.
You're talking about something that happened 11 or 12 years ago. And now you see this income on the bank statement and SARS is saying, what is this? And that guy can hardly remember. And after really probing him, turned out that he sold a pet of his. But important information like that. So I'd rather my clients talk to me, tell me what's happening. And I can guide them in terms of whether we need to use information or not. I've said this before on this program. And I tell my clients all the time, the game has changed.
Yes.
SARS have upped their game and are using AI. And they are mining information without you knowing. And now is not the time to take chances. So if you have other income and you have things that need to be shown in your tax return, discuss it with us. We can try and find ways to mitigate your taxes, but you have to disclose it at least.
Absolutely. Let's talk about what businesses can claim. I suggested this topic to you based on my personal experiences. As I said, no one tells you what you can claim. So let's hear from the experts. Nabila, how long is that list? Let's go for it.
So the best way for me to explain this would be via example. So let's take a business that imports shoes into South Africa and then retails them. Your typical claims is obviously your purchases, your rent, telephone, bank charges, wages, your normal operating expenses, what we know as overheads. In this particular case, however, where the representative of the business travels overseas, you can claim those travel expenses, provided that the travel is for business purposes. So he went overseas to source out new products, to meet his suppliers, to do quality control.
Yeah.
But now there are limits to this, obviously. He cannot take his whole family and then claim the whole expense.
Unless he's working. No. Don't say government, Nishal. Don't say it.
No.
I didn't say.
The company can also claim his subsistence expenses. So where he had to obviously buy food and pay for accommodation where he was overseas for that period, he can claim that as a deduction.
So what about someone like me who, apart from working here at the radio station, I do events and voiceovers and things? What about that?
So the law talks about any expenses incurred in the production of income. In simple English, it means any amount that you spend in order to earn your income. Let's say, for example, in your case, you're at a venue and you now realize that you need a special VGA cable. So you go out and you buy the cable. This cable that you bought now becomes a tax-deductible expense for you.
Right.
In the same case, you drive into the venue and you pass a toll road. That toll payment that you made is now becomes a tax-deductible expense for you because you are incurring it in going out and earning your income. You arrive at the hall and you need somebody to help you offload your stuff from the vehicle. You hire the guy from the side of the road. That becomes a tax-deductible expense for you. So the list is not one solution fits everybody. It depends on the type of business that you have. But I think the most important underlying principle is if you spend money to make money, that money that you spend is now a tax deductible expense. So you do marketing, you do advertising, you take clients out for a lunch because you're in that sort of game where you have to meet clients and convince them what you need. All those things become tax deductible. But again, I'm saying there are certain limits to it.
So before we end the interview, one or two questions coming through from listeners, if you can answer right now. If you need more information, then obviously, we'll say so. So, Salams, if purchased car via bank, will tax incur on sale, etc.?
So again, it depends on the type of business and type of vehicle. For example, you buy so what the law says is that if you buy a delivery vehicle, and your part of your business is doing deliveries to people, then yes, that becomes a tax deductible expenses in terms of interest that you're paying on the installments and the maintenance of the vehicle and all those sorts of things. But the same token, you take a van, you take a doctor now, he's running a surgery, he buys a van. What does he need a van for?
Medication.
No, that's what
he's delivering medication in a rural area.
Yes, if that's the
case, then yes.
Example.
Prove me wrong.
But if you're a surgeon,
right,
and you're going to
I'm carrying spare limbs.
Nabila, you're not going to win this one. Nabila.
Not with me, no. No, but I'm pretty certain you get those sort of ridiculous responses in the office. I suppose we encourage people to just be realistic.
Absolutely.
Correct.
For example, if you talk about a car, I mean, a couple of years ago, SARS changed the rule with regard to car allowances because guys were buying extremely luxury vehicles and then taking the travel allowance and creaming the system. And SARS put a limit to that. So everything within reason.
So I can't go buy myself the latest 7 Series using my car allowance for sales repping.
No.
No? I have to get a next question. Brother Shabir says, I am a salary earning individual. I have a saving account for my daughter's education. Unfortunately, SARS hit me with 24K. Rather put the money in Pala Pala. I wasn't expecting the last part. But how does that work? I mean, it's an educational saving fund.
It's a savings.
Yeah.
But as long as it's on his name and not his daughter's name.
Right.
So it's on his name, whatever. So let's say if it's profits or interest or whatever it is that it's earning, it will be added to his taxable income. But there is an exemption. So the first 23,800 of interest is tax free.
I thought it was 32. Did they lower the threshold?
So 32,500 is for over 65.
So here's a few solutions in my mind. Shabir should look into an educational policy with a company that specializes in that. He's got a specific amount of money he wants to put into that and put it there, and it would work out better.
The other alternative would be depend on the interest that he earns. He could have put the saving in his daughter's name directly.
Yeah.
Right.
Because she probably got no other income.
Right.
Her tax rate probably be much lower than his.
Yeah.
So it depends on his circumstances, and the scenario could change.
So if Shabir or anybody else wants to get a hold of you guys and ask a few more questions, how would they do that?
On 031 207 4440. Being tax season, it's best to get me via email, which is Nabila, NABEELA @kfas.co.za. And then there is a